that's what I did. I literally left my home, my place, where I was, over 2 years ago, and have been digital nomading ever since. So I literally and physically could go wherever he would send me. So I did prepare, in a way. Not that that's necessary for everyone. It just worked out that way for me, as an example. And then what I started doing is I started identifying that the biggest thing for me, because you got the sense that, I've traveled to, like over 50 countries alone. I've done my businesses alone. Like, I don't want to be doing that. This is not the space. And that is what God has been telling me. He's
Hmm.
telling me that I need to work with an organization. I need to work with a team. I don't need to be the one leading anything. I just haven't found that yet. I've been seeking that for over 3 years. And I did find a sending organization with a program, that prepares business missionaries. So that was fascinating. And through that, I learned what was called a vision trip. And that's why I called it my little trip, a vision trip, because that got named for me by them. But really, as I understood it, was a way to mutually figure out what was happening. Meaning, like, how do I define myself into that space, as well as understanding by being there what's needed. Literally what is needed. So my trip was just about 3 weeks ago now, and it ended up being a bus tour. It was a tour that was arranged, which actually I just, 2 weeks prior decided I was going. So it was just a complete spur of the moment. I knew that I needed to go, and the opportunity came about. And so I grabbed this opportunity. So it was not a specifically faith based trip, it was not specifically any of the ways that I've ever traveled before. But it was an opportunity to be able to see 10 countries in the Balkans and deal with the border issues and make this, you know, full vision of seeing enough of the countries possible in a short period of time. It was 2.5 weeks, well, it was 3 weeks altogether. So I felt like that was the vision that he gave me in the short run, to really physically be in that place and at least touch the cultures.
Hmm.
So I was able to see Bosnia in a way that you know you wouldn't necessarily be able to do if you only went to the capitals, which is probably how I would have done it myself. Would have been city
Hmm.
hopping to the capitals for the largest business. Because I was on a bus, the tourists, they went off and did their thing when we had our free time after the general overview part of the tour, which was always great. Then I would go and really try to absorb the culture and just be in the space and, try to just meet people and, understand more of their history. So I really, really got a good vision out of that, I think. And
That's again, I gotta pin this for the listeners. This is so unusual. People don't think about buying a package tour as a way to do a vision trip. We've been pushing for years. People have asked me, how can I get the businessmen and women of our church to be connected to business's mission? And my answer has always been a vision trip. Just get them over to see, not to do, just to see, to learn, to listen. But it never occurred to me to
yeah,
say, don't try to organize this as some non-professional tour company doing a non-professional tour. Buy a package. What a cool idea!
yeah.
So many of our listeners, and I hope this word gets out. This should go viral. I love what you've done. All right, so we're gonna come in for a landing here.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up. I'm going to ask you. You mentioned guest blogging. I'm going to ask you to do a guest blog for the Third Path site on this vision trip and all the stuff we're talking about, but also with real specific advice for people that would read, because that you can take much more time to think about